Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am Bradley.
And I am Megan, and today we are asking one of the most famous questions in all of American history.
One of the most famous questions, and one of the most debated. Debated means argued about. People have strong and different opinions about it.
Strong and different opinions. And today we are going to explore both sides honestly, openly, without pretending.
Because today's topic deserves honesty. Today we are asking, is the American dream still real?
The American dream. Just saying those three words creates a feeling and emotion.
In emotion. For some people, those words create hope, excitement, possibility.
And for others, those same words create frustration. Frustration means the feeling of being upset because something is not working the way you want.
Or skepticism. Skepticism means doubt, not fully believing something, questioning whether it is true.
Hope versus skepticism, possibility versus frustration. That is the conversation around the American dream today.
And it's one of the most important conversations happening in America right now, in coffee shops, in universities, in living rooms, on social media.
Everywhere. And for our listeners who are learning English and learning about American culture, this topic is essential.
Essential means absolutely necessary, fundamental. To understand America, you must understand the American dream.
Because it is not just an idea, it is the foundation of this country.
Foundation means the base, the thing everything else is built upon. Everything in America, the culture, the ambition, the work ethic, is built on the idea of the American dream.
Work ethic means the belief that hard work is valuable and important, that working hard leads to success.
We have history, real conversations, a short story set right here in Los Angeles, practical vocabulary, and our question for you at the end.
And before we start, please click the like button if this podcast helps you, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who is curious about America and American culture.
We publish new episodes every single day, so come back tomorrow. There's always something new waiting for you.
Okay, let's start. Bradley, what is the American dream? How would you define it?
Define means to explain the meaning of something clearly and specifically.
Yes, how would you define the American dream?
From me, the American dream is the belief that in America, anyone from anywhere, regardless of where they were born or how much money their family has, can work hard and build a successful life.
Anyone from anywhere. Regardless means without being affected by, without it mattering.
Regardless of your background. Background means your family history, your nationality, your social class.
Social class means the group in society you belong to based on your income, education, and job. Upper class, middle class, working class.
The American dream says social class does not have to define your future. You can start at the bottom and reach the top.
Start at the bottom and reach the top. That is the dream. That is the promise.
The promise. America is a promised land. Promised land means a place where wonderful things are waiting for you, where your dreams can come true.
And for millions of people throughout history, America was exactly that.
Let's talk about the history. Where did the American dream come from?
The phrase, the American dream, was actually coined by a historian named James Truslow Adams in 1931.
Coined means invented, created, used for the first time. He coined the phrase in 1931.
1931. That was during the Great Depression. The Great Depression was the worst economic crisis in American history. Millions of people lost their jobs and their homes.
Economic crisis means a period when the economy, the system of money, work, and business, is failing badly. People are poor and struggling.
And in the middle of that crisis, Adams wrote about the dream. He said, America is a dream of a land where life should be better, richer, and fuller for everyone.
Better, richer, and fuller for everyone, not just for the wealthy, for everyone.
For everyone. And that idea, that America offers opportunity to everyone, brought millions of immigrants to this country.
Immigrants means people who move from one country to another to live permanently. They leave their home country and come to America.
And the waves of immigration throughout American history, from Europe in the early 1900s, from Asia, from Latin America, from Africa, all of these people came with the same dream.
Waves of immigration. Wave means a large group arriving at the same time, like waves on the ocean, one after another.
They came with almost nothing, and they built lives, they built businesses, they built communities.
They built America, literally. The buildings, the railroads, the farms, the cities, built by immigrants chasing the dream.
Railroads means the train tracks and system that connected America from coast to coast. Coast to coast means from the East Coast to the West Coast, all the way across.
And the dream worked for many of them. Not easily, not quickly, but eventually.
Eventually means after a long time, not immediately, but in the end after years of hard work.
Their children had better lives than they did. Their grandchildren had better lives than their children, each generation improving.
Generation means a group of people born in a similar time period, each generation doing a little better than the one before.
That upward mobility, each generation doing a little better, is called upward mobility. Mobility means the ability to move. Upward mobility means moving up in society, getting better, getting higher.
Upward mobility, the heart of the American dream. Your children will have a better life than you, and their children will have an even better life.
And for much of the 20th century, this was true. This was real.
20th century means the 1900s, 100 years of the American dream appearing to work.
Appearing to work. That phrase is important. Let's talk about that now.
Okay, the big question. Is the American dream still real today? Let's look at both sides.
Both sides, because there are two very real sides to this question.
Side one, yes, the dream is still real. Arguments for the dream. Argument means a reason given to support a position.
Yes, and the first argument is immigrants are still making the dream work, right now, today.
Even today, people arrive in America with almost nothing, and they build something extraordinary.
Extraordinary means beyond ordinary, much better than normal, and there are thousands of examples.
The founders of Google, Sergey Brin, his family emigrated from Russia. Emigrated means left one country to go and live in another permanently.
Sergey Brin came to America as a child. His family had very little, and he became one of the wealthiest people on Earth.
Wealthiest means having the most money, the richest, one of the wealthiest people on Earth.
And that is one example, but there are millions of smaller examples, less famous but equally real.
Equally means in the same way, to the same degree, less famous but equally real.
The Vietnamese family who opened a nail salon in 1980 and now has 3 locations.
The Mexican family who started a food truck and now has a restaurant.
The Korean family who opened a grocery store. The Ethiopian family who started a cleaning business. All across LA, these stories exist.
All across LA and America, stories of people who came with nothing and built something through determination and sacrifice.
Determination means a strong decision to keep going no matter what. Sacrifice means giving up something valuable, comfort, time, money, for a better future.
And the second argument for the dream, America still offers freedoms and opportunities that do not exist everywhere in the world.
Freedoms. Freedom of speech means the right to express your opinion without fear of punishment.
Freedom of religion means the right to practice any religion or no religion without government interference.
Interference means becoming involved in something that is not welcome. The government cannot interfere in your religion.
And freedom of opportunity. The ability to start a business, to study any subject, to move anywhere in the country, to reinvent yourself.
Reinvent yourself means to completely change who you are and what you do, to start fresh, a new identity, a new life.
And in many countries, reinventing yourself is nearly impossible. Your family, your class, your background, these things define you forever.
Define you forever. But in America, the idea is that they do not have to.
They do not have to. That possibility, even just the possibility, is powerful. But now, side two, the other side, the harder side, the side that asks, but is it fair?
Fair means treating everyone equally, giving everyone the same chance. And this is where the conversation gets complicated.
The first challenge, inequality. Inequality means not being equal, some people having much more than others.
And inequality in America has grown significantly in recent decades. Decades means periods of 10 years. Recent decades means the last 20, 30, 40 years.
The gap between the wealthy and everyone else has grown enormously. Gap means the space between two things, the distance, the difference.
The richest 1% of Americans own more wealth than the bottom 50% combined. Combined means added together, all together.
1% owning more than 50% combined. That is an extraordinary gap, an extraordinary concentration of wealth.
Concentration means a large amount gathered in one place. Wealth concentration means most of the money is in the hands of very few people.
And the second challenge, the cost of living. We talked about this in our LA versus NY episode, but it affects the whole country now.
Rent is extremely high. Healthcare, the system of doctors and hospitals, is extremely expensive in America, unlike many other countries.
Unlike means different from. In many countries, healthcare is free or very cheap. In America, it is private and very expensive.
And education, university education, is also extremely expensive. Student loans are a massive problem.
Student loans means money borrowed to pay for university. Many Americans graduate with enormous debt, sometimes $50,000, $100,000 or more just for a university education.
And that debt follows them for years, sometimes decades, making it much harder to save, to buy a home, to build wealth.
Build wealth means to accumulate money and assets over time. Assets means things of value, property, investments, savings. And the third challenge, systemic barriers. Systemic means built into the system, into the structures of society.
Some groups of people face barriers that others do not. Barriers means obstacles, things that block your path.
Historically and still today, people of color, women, immigrants without documents face barriers that make the dream harder to reach.
Harder to reach, not impossible, but significantly harder, and that matters.
That matters because the promise of the dream is equality. And if some people face more barriers than others, the dream is not equally available.
Not equally available, and that is the honest, complicated truth about the American dream today. Okay, our short story. This one is about a family, the Ramirez family.
The Ramirez family. Tell us about them.
Miguel Ramirez arrived in Los Angeles from Oaxaca, a state in southern Mexico, in 1987. He was 22 years old, he had $40 in his pocket and one phone number, the number of a cousin who lived in East LA.
$40 and one phone number. That is how the story began.
He spoke almost no English. He got a job washing dishes in a restaurant in Hollywood. Washing dishes, long hours, low pay.
Low pay means not much money. He worked many hours for little money.
And Miguel sent money home to his family in Oaxaca every single week without fail.
Without fail means never missing, always.
Without fail, always sending something home. And slowly, Miguel learned English, a few words at a time.
A few words at a time. He learned from the other workers, from television, from listening, from asking questions.
From asking questions, just like our listeners are doing right now.
Exactly. And after 3 years, Miguel became a line cook. Line cook means a cook who works at a specific station in a restaurant kitchen, preparing one type of dish.
Moving up from washing dishes to cooking, one step at a time.
One step at a time. And after 10 years, Miguel was the head chef. Head chef means the most senior and important cook in the kitchen, the leader.
From washing dishes to head chef in 10 years.
10 years of early mornings, late nights, snow days off in the beginning. Learning, growing, never stopping.
Never stopping. And then Miguel opened his own restaurant, a small place in Boyles Heights, a historic Latino neighborhood in East LA.
Boyles Heights, a community with so much history, so much culture, and Miguel's restaurant became part of that history. And Miguel's daughter, Sophia, she was born in America. She grew up helping in the restaurant, watching her father work.
And Sophia studied hard. She got a scholarship to UCLA, the University of California, Los Angeles, one of the most prestigious universities in the world.
Prestigious means highly respected and admired. UCLA is one of the best universities in the world.
And Sophia graduated with a degree in business, and she came back to the restaurant, not to wash dishes, but to run the business side of the restaurant.
Run the business side means to manage the financial and operational parts of the business, the numbers, the marketing, the strategy.
And together, Miguel and Sophia expanded the restaurant. Expanded means grew bigger. They opened 2 more locations, one in Silver Lake, one in Santa Monica.
Silver Lake and Santa Monica, 2 very different LA neighborhoods, very different customers, but the same Oaxacan food, the same recipes Miguel brought from his mother's kitchen.
His mother's kitchen, all the way from Oaxaca, now feeding people in Silver Lake and Santa Monica.
And Miguel's grandson, Sophia's son, his name is Lucas. He's 8 years old. He speaks perfect English and perfect Spanish.
And he's never washed a dish in a restaurant. He's never sent money home because there was nothing left for himself.
He goes to a good school. He has opportunities his grandfather could never have imagined.
Could never have imagined. That's the generational leap. A leap means a big jump, a big movement forward.
The generational leap from Miguel at 22 with $40 to Lucas at 8 with a world of possibility ahead of him.
A world of possibility. Is that the American dream? I think yes.
I think yes, too. And yet, Miguel will tell you it was not easy. It was not guaranteed. Guaranteed means promised, certain, assured.
Not guaranteed. It required enormous sacrifice, enormous patience, and a lot of luck, too.
And luck, yes, because the dream is real, but it is not equal, and it is not easy. And not everyone who works as hard as Miguel gets the same result.
Not everyone, and that honest truth lives alongside the beautiful story of Miguel and Sophia and Lucas.
Lives alongside, both truths existing at the same time. The dream is real, and it is not equally available. Both things are true. Okay, so, given everything we have discussed, what does the American dream mean in 2026?
Given means considering, taking into account, given everything we know.
I think the American dream is evolving. Evolving means changing and developing over time, not disappearing, but changing.
Changing, and maybe that is healthy. Maybe a dream that never changes becomes a fantasy.
Fantasy means something that is not real, only in the imagination. A dream that never adapts to reality becomes a fantasy.
Adapts means changing to fit new circumstances. Circumstances means the conditions and facts of a situation.
And the new American dream for many young Americans looks different from the old one.
Different. The old dream was a house, a car, a stable job, a family, the suburban ideal.
Suburban means related to the suburbs, those residential areas outside the city with houses and gardens.
And the new dream for many people is different, more personal, more individual.
Individual means specific to one person, not the same for everyone, personal to you.
For some, the new dream is financial freedom, not a mansion, just enough money to have choices, to not be trapped by debt.
Mansion means a very large and expensive house. The old dream was the big house. The new dream is freedom from debt.
For others, the new dream is meaningful work, not just a paycheck, but work that matters, work that connects to your values.
Values means the principles and beliefs that are most important to you, what you care about deeply.
And for others, the new dream is community, belonging, connection, feeling part of something larger than yourself.
Larger than yourself, beyond your individual success. Something shared, something communal.
Communal means shared by a community, belonging to everyone together, not just one person.
And I think all of these new versions of the dream, they still have something in common with the original.
What do they have in common?
The belief that things can be better, that the future can be brighter than the past, that your effort matters.
That your effort matters. That is the heart of the American dream. Not a house, not the car, but the belief that what you do matters.
That what you do matters, and that you have the agency to shape your own life.
Agency means the power to make choices and take actions that affect your own life. You're not just a victim of circumstances, you have agency.
You have agency. That belief, even if imperfect, even if challenged by inequality, that belief is still alive in America.
Still alive and still powerful and still drawing people from all over the world to this city, to this country.
To this city, to LA, where Miguel arrived with $40, where Isabella opened her restaurant, where Bradley and Megan make a podcast every day.
Every single day, because we believe what we do matters. That is our American dream.
That is our American dream. And what is yours?
Before we do the vocabulary review, I want to say something.
Please.
The American dream is imperfect. Imperfect means not perfect, having flaws, having problems.
Flaws means weaknesses, imperfections, things that are not right.
The inequality is real. The barriers are real. The cost of living is real. The student debt is real. All of that is true.
All of that is true. And the hope is also real. The stories of people who made it against the odds, those are also real.
Against the odds means despite the difficulties, when success was not likely. Against all odds means it was hard, but they did it anyway.
Against all odds. And maybe the dream is not a guarantee, but it is a possibility.
A possibility, and in many parts of the world, that possibility does not exist at all. The possibility alone is something.
The possibility alone is something. And that is worth protecting, worth fighting for, worth believing in.
Worth fighting for, worth believing in, even with all its imperfections. Okay, vocabulary review time. Let's go through all our new words.
Debated, argued about. People have strong and different opinions. The American dream is one of the most debated topics in America.
Frustration, the feeling of being upset because something isn't working. Many Americans feel frustration about the dream today.
Skepticism, doubt, not fully believing something. Some people have skepticism about whether the dream is still real.
Work ethic, the belief that hard work is valuable and leads to success. America was built on a strong work ethic.
Define,
to explain the meaning of something clearly and specifically.
Regardless, without being affected by, without it mattering, anyone can succeed regardless of background.
Background, your family history, nationality, and social class, where you come from.
Social class, the group in society you belong to based on income, education, and job.
Promised land, a place where wonderful things are waiting and dreams can come true.
Coined, invented, used for the first time. The phrase was coined in 1931.
Economic crisis, a period when the economy is failing badly. People are poor and struggling.
Immigrants, people who move from one country to another to live permanently.
Waves of immigration, large groups of immigrants arriving at the same time, one after another.
Eventually, after a long time, not immediately, but in the end.
Generation, a group of people born in a similar time period.
Upward mobility, the ability to move up in society, each generation doing better than the one before.
Emigrated, left one country to go and live there permanently.
Wealthiest, having the most money, the richest.
Equally, in the same way, to the same degree.
Determination, a strong decision to keep going no matter what.
Freedom of speech, the right to express your opinion without fear of punishment.
Freedom of religion, the right to practice any religion without government interference.
Interference, becoming involved in something that is not welcome.
Reinvent yourself, to completely change who you are and what you do to start fresh.
Inequality, not being equal, some people having much more than others.
Decades, periods of 10 years. Recent decades means the last 20 to 40 years.
Gap, the space between two things, the distance, the difference.
Unlike, different from. America is unlike many countries and its healthcare system.
Student loans, money borrowed to pay for university education.
Build wealth, to accumulate money and assets over time.
Assets, things of value, property, investments, savings.
Systemic, built into the system, into the structures of society.
Barriers, obstacles, things that block your path to success.
Without fail, never missing, always. Miguel sent money home every week without fail.
Line cook, a cook who works at a specific station in a restaurant kitchen.
Head chef, the most senior and important cook in the kitchen, the leader.
Prestigious, highly respected and admired. UCLA is a prestigious university.
Expanded, grew bigger, opened more locations.
Generational leap, a big jump forward across generations. Huge improvement from one generation to the next.
Guaranteed, promised, certain, assured. The dream is real, but not guaranteed.
Evolving, changing, and developing over time. The American dream is evolving.
Fantasy, something not real, only in the imagination. A dream that never adapts becomes a fantasy.
Adapts, changes to fit new circumstances.
Individual, specific to one person. Personal, not the same for everyone.
Mansion, a very large and expensive house.
Values, the principle and beliefs most important to you, what you care about deeply.
Communal, shared by a community, belonging to everyone together.
Agency, the power to make choices and take actions that affect your own life.
Imperfect, not perfect, having flaws and problems.
Flaws, weaknesses, imperfections, things that are not right.
Against the odds, despite the difficulties, when success was not likely.
And our key phrases today: the American dream is not a guarantee, but it is a possibility. And sometimes the possibility alone is enough to change everything.
And what you do matters. That is the heart of the American dream. Always was, always will be.
And now our question for you in the comments. We want to know, what does the American dream mean to you?
Does it feel real? Does it feel possible? Or does it feel like a fantasy?
Write your answer in English in the comments. Maybe you write, I believe in the American dream because of stories like Miguel's. Or, I think the dream is harder to reach today than before.
Whatever you think, write it. Your opinion matters. Your voice matters.
Your voice matters. We read every single comment, and we love hearing your perspectives from all around the world.
Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who is curious about America and what it really means.
Come back tomorrow. We have a brand new episode waiting for you every single day.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. And remember, wherever you are in the world, your dream is valid. Your effort matters, and your story is not finished yet.